Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary McMahon, for being here today. I hope that I will have an opportunity to meet with you. I had made a request, and we weren't able to do that, and hopefully you'll reconsider. But let me just raise a concern that I heard from one of my constituents who served in the Department of Grants Management Policy Division. Their entire unit received a RIF notice in March. This office, from what I understand, held key oversight functions for grant administration and compliance, and ensuring that taxpayer dollars were used effectively and legally, and that the department's obligations under federal statute were met. And I know you've spoken about the importance of streamlining and efficiency, and I respect that. I know it's difficult sometimes, but let me ask if you can speak to the department's plan for transitioning this critical compliance work moving forward, and how you are ensuring that core responsibilities around federal grant oversight, training, and legal compliance are still being fulfilled.
Well, thank you very much for your question. Just let me give you the assurance that even with the streamlining that we have done so far, we have not missed any of our statutory requirements, and that's what we will continue to do.
So you have, and you are going to meet those, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you, as you already know, Title III, Part B provides mandatory funding to HBCUs, and I appreciate your statement on HBCUs. I'm a 40-year professor at an HBCU, a graduate twice of one. But can you speak to how the department is using the data and metrics to track the long-term impact of outcomes like academic performance, research competitiveness, and infrastructure modernization at our HBCUs that are approximately almost 200 years old? And beyond that, how do you plan to scale what's working? And if we're seeing strong results at one campus, then how can we make sure that these best practices are reaching others?
Well, thank you very much for asking. We have held all of our funding for HBCUs level. They've not been decreased. I've met with President Vincent from Howard University and understand from him a lot of the great programs they have in place. So we recognize the great value of HBCUs. And I believe, and I can get back to you to make sure that this is a correct statement, but I believe that the president also has a special office in the administration for HBCUs.
Yes, ma'am, he does, and of course he did have an executive order on HBCUs, and of course you know that the HBCUs Partners Act, signed into law by the president, requires agencies to report each year to Congress on how they're supporting HBCUs and how that aligns with the goals of the executive order and the White House initiative, of which you just spoke about. So let's say that there's a grant that gets canceled, but that cancellation doesn't line up with the executive order or the intent of the HBCU Partners Act. Would you be willing to work with the White House initiative and your interagency partners to take another look at those decisions and potentially reinstate grants that were inconsistent with that guidance?
Certainly, I would always look into those things, but we have not canceled any grants.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, we're gonna make sure that we follow up on that.
Yeah, we'll follow up if that's not the case.
All right. Well, thank you. Are there ways that you could look at to incentivize required state matches to HBCUs as the executive order states? Because currently that's not being done.
I'm not sure that it's not being done, but I would like to look into it further. And if it is not being done, I'd like to talk to you about it.
Yes, ma'am. I want to talk to you about it because I can assure you that it is not being done. But let me just say, Mr. Chairman, I do want to ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record a 2024 report from the Century Foundation that outlines studies that show that HBCUs provide an incredible return on investment.
Without objection, it will be submitted.
Well, thank you. And Madam Secretary, thank you very much. I know that I'm almost slightly over my time, but I'm looking forward to this year's HBCU Week. I saw that the website has been updated, and I certainly appreciate the effort to keep that momentum going. I look forward to, as I said in my opening comments, to having that one-on-one with you I would certainly appreciate if you would honor that request. And thank you very much for being here. And, Mr. Chair, I yield back.
Thank you, and I'll certainly do that.
Gentlelady yields right on time. Thank you. I recognize Gentlelady from New York, Ms. Stefanik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.